is back again. I say this is our own. Let's cherish our own. Division 1 league is back again. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. I don't see a day what dog can want. And EJ can want. The day ratio more. They say a day what dog can want. And EJ can want. The day ratio more. Since the days of Baba Yara, we've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. Since the days of Shamokwe, we've been there. Division 1 League is back again. Since the days of Abeta Saki, we've been there. Women's Premier League is back again. Since the days of Asamoah John, we've been there. We've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. Since the days of Ishmael Ado, we've been there. We've been there. Division 1 League is back again. So this is our own. Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. Since the days of Emmanuel Clote, we've been there. We've been there. Division 1 League is back again. Since the days of Abedi Pele, we've been there. We've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. And the days of Ebo Smith, we've been there. Ghana Premier League.
All right, welcome back. It's all over, and Alfred Hansen is here. So to Josiah Okokwe, good match, a goal in it. Could have been more. Second half, more industrious and more purposeful by Accra Lions, but they just couldn't get that equalizer. Well-deserved win, 3 points, and Summertex would have their work cut out because now they know what exactly they need to do. All the weekend matches. We'll take a look at the rest of the fixtures that are coming up, especially over the weekend, and then also how the table stands now. But Josiah, as you said at the break, if nothing much changes, Nations would carry the 3 points.
Yeah, I think it was a good game, and it's a totally deserving win for Nations FC. And now I believe it's game on again with regards to the title challenge. Now they've thrown the challenge to Summertex, and now it's up to Summertex to either restore that 7-point gap or drop points in that one. That could even be more intense going into the last 4 games of the season. I believe the difference between these two sides on the day after 90 minutes was just maturity, and conviction, and that was what Nations FC had. Accra Lions, like we know, would always want to have a larger share of the ball. They want some dominance both in midfield and also in the attacking third. But Nations FC did a good job defensively. They kept their shape. They didn't allow them so many chances and touches in the opposition box, and in 90 minutes you could count the number of times Accra Lions had to touch the ball in the box of Nations FC, just a handful of times, and that tells you how solid and very, very compact they were at the back. They just didn't allow Accra Lions to play the way they want to play. We know how Accra Lions want to play. They only try to just, they went with a mid press. You can have the ball all you want when you want to have it in your area, and with that one, I think they limited them, so they were not that threatening throughout the 90 minutes. And it's just a tactical game. Sometimes if you're challenging for the title, you don't sometimes have to play so well to win a football game. And today, Nations didn't really play. They were not so exceptional on the day. But then that's the winning mentality, and that's a very good way to snap a 5-game winless streak, because you don't have to play the best of football. All that matters sometimes is just winning and grabbing all 3 points.
They're learning.
It's a learning process for them. I think now you compare them to Summertex, and Summertex have got 2 seasons experience in the Premier League as compared to nations who have got just 1.
And funny enough, the two sides have a very strong home record.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So it's all about making your home a fortress that you can see what you can pick away from home. So just like you said, I believe it's a learning stage for them. Yes, if they should even go on and lose a title at the end of the season, I believe it's still a good job done. They've really done so well because no one expected them to be challenging for the league title in their first season in the top flight. It's very, very demanding and challenging. And even we've talking about the big guns who are even wallowing in the second half of the table. It's not that easy. It's very, very competitive. And I believe they've learned their lessons, and gradually, even if they could go on and challenge, we just hope this one will go down to the wire, at least match week 33, match week 34, so before we can outrightly have a winner in the league.
Well, I think Samatex will take on Bofo, and they are relegation threats. And we've seen Tamale United beating them up north. So, yeah, well, as we hope it goes to the wire. That would mean that the relegation threatened teams try to win their matches and give those seeking a title problems. I think Nations also went away and suffered a defeat at Accra, so those were part of. But how do you see the performance of Accra Lions? It's one of those performances that they didn't really take the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, they didn't do that. And that was because of how clever Kasimengo set his team up. He didn't play into the hands of Accra Lions, which a lot of teams have done this season. A lot of teams try to take Accra Lions on their own game, trying to play them off the park, trying to be possessive. And if you do that, they will pick the weaknesses in your team, and then they'll punish you. What Kasimengo did today was to concede possession, because he knows he can't match Accra Lions when it comes to possession. So he considered possession and then limited them in the final third. So when it was okay for Lions to have the ball in their own half, and then in the around the center circle there, but when they get to Nations final third, it's supposed to suffocate them. The likes of Simpson and then Boache sort of suffocated them. So it limited the chances. So even though they had a lot of the ball, they couldn't do much with it. And I think that was down to the cleverness of Kasimengo, which a lot of coaches have failed to do this season, trying to match them, play them off the park. And I think the introduction of Edu and Amedu also helped when the likes of Kasim and Prince Aqua got tired in midfield. It brought in reinforcement. So the levels, their levels didn't drop in midfield, which was where I felt the game was won. So I think a lot of credit will go to the players for what they did, but I think from the organizational point of view, from the tactical point of view, I think a lot of credit must go to Kasimengo as well for how he was able to set the team up to limit the chances from Accra Lions.
Yeah, a good team performance. The goalkeeper came out a couple of times. Barry Maba I think he was the man of the match in the end. Good. Simpson had a decent game, and a few others. Asamoah, general good teamwork by Nations to get their 3 points on.
Yeah, but I think I'll credit the back four of Nations FC. I think they limited, the attacking threat of Lions, and that you could count the number of saves that the goalkeeper had to make in 90 minutes. Just a handful, and also the quality of chances they even created. Accra Lions, it's just not the Accra Lions we know. Even when they travel away from home, they are used to creating quality chances.
Yeah, with the exception of the 3-0 defeat at Heart of Lions, which was certainly out of form or character. They've managed to keep it very tidy. If they lose, it's by the 1-goal margin. If they win, it's by the 1-goal margin. And that draw against Bofo Akwatano, a very relegation threatened side.
Yeah. And that's where you question the mentality. And I think it's just a perfect way to bounce back after a 5-game winless streak. That's what you need, because we keep saying that if they had even won 2 of these games where they ended up not picking up maximum point, it would have been a different narrative. Maybe the story would have been told differently, but this is what we want to see, because with Samatex also facing another relegation threatened side, it could be a different tale over the weekend for them. Nations FC have been really, really good, but then when you play at home, sometimes it's difficult. Bibiani Gold Stars draw, Tannable for Aqua draw, that's 4 points dropped in those 2 games, and that's huge points, valuable points that if you're challenging for the title, if you're going head to head with another team for the title, you should be picking up these points. Yeah, these are very, very valuable points that they might look back and say, we should have picked up these points, just like we played today. Sometimes it's not about playing beautiful football. We've seen, even the giants, the European giants, sometimes it's just about showing character, desire, and hunger, going into games and knowing that even if we don't play good, the one thing that we have to do is to pick up maximum points. And that's what Nations did. Now it's 4 points. Yeah, and I believe it's very, very crucial now for Samatex. Some pressure on them going to that game against Tano Bofakwa, because we know Tano Bofakwa are also in danger. They are suffocating down there. They believe that winning this one, or at least just making a point, could do them so good.
It's a good time for Bofakwa to, show what they're made of. Look at Nations, their last games, very tough games against Adriana in Doma. In Accra, they travel to meet Hearts of Oak. Tough game there. They host Bichim United, and then they travel to Nswatrama. So 3 away games and just 1 home for a team that wants to surprise everybody winning the title. Very, very tough indeed. But they have to perhaps also rely on results elsewhere, regardless of their form. These are matches that you don't see them winning all of them. You don't see them winning the majority, but they possibly can't put in a run. After all, they've got 3 points, a good win. Why not go away, get 3 points, and then think about coming to Accra, get 3 points. Then you have momentum. And maybe then Samatex could also be slipping, but you now rely on the other teams.
Yeah, I think you could have made a case for Nations FC if 3 of these 4 games are at home rather than away, because out of the 4 games he's going on the road 3 times and will be playing Bechem at home, which it's all but guaranteed to be a win, considering how resolute they've been at home this season. They are the only team in the Premier League who is here to lose at home this season, and you wouldn't put the victory of Bechem against them at home. It's the away game at Adriana and Hearts of Oak and Nswatrama that may be a banana skin pill for them. But if they put their house together, if they put in a decent performance, if they play cleverly like the way they have this afternoon, I don't think it will be beyond them. Maybe Accra Hearts of Oak might be fighting relegation themselves, so it will be a bit difficult for them when they travel down south to Accra. But at Adriana, who themselves have all but giving up hopes of winning the league title, they can go there and then cause an upset, maybe lose the Accra House of Oak game, win against Bechem, and then finish the season off with a victory away at Nswatrama. So it's not far. The idea of them winning the league in their first season is not far-fetched. I think with of course the other results going their way, because now they have to rely on the opponents of Samatex to do them a favor, because their destiny is no longer in their hands. After they win today, they'll close the gap at the top to 4 points. They'll be hoping that Samatex will drop points against Tano Bofakwa, and then they'll capitalize on the rest of their games. But with the form of Samatex, you can also not guarantee that they will win all their games this season, because they've been poor in recent games as well. So yes, those are the permutations Nations FC will be making for the title to go their way. But for them, I think they've done what they need. They've done what they need to do. And Accra Lions themselves having felt too good in their last.
Their first defeat in 5
games, yes, their first defeat in 5. They won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. For them, I think they have an outside chance of winning the league as well. A lot of people have not mentioned their name because of maybe who they are and what they seek to achieve. But lying third, going into the last 4 or 5 games, I think they are in with an outside chance.
It's because of the stats that we see on the screen now. Their away form hasn't been that impressive. Just 1 on the road, and even that on the road, quote unquote, in the capital where they're used to playing. So really, you've got to have a really, if not impressive away form, you need to pick up good points away. And I think this perhaps tells you that they'll find it very difficult to pick up those valuable points on the road.
Yeah, and 2 of those losses have come against teams that are battling to save their lives. And sometimes when you're going to, fixtures like that, it's very, very difficult, because they are more motivated than you are, and that's one thing for them. But you look at the fixtures remaining: 2 at home, 2 away from home. They have Samatex to play. Maybe that could be coronation day for Samatex, perhaps, depending on how they play in the other games that they have to play.
In Samaboy.
In somehow that could be coronation day, depending on what happens. Maybe if there's no twist, then maybe we could see Samatex trying to win that game to be crowned champions of the Ghana Premier League for the first time in their history.
And Dreams, hopefully, by then should have.
Yeah, should be, and that's why it's a permutations from now to, let's say, match week 32. What happens in between that time? Because I believe even it's not been sorted out in the danger zone. You can see teams moving up and down, depending on if they win or lose the game. And I believe after this weekend, there could be some, movement down there. Quite a lot of them.
Okay, so the coaches are ready. Kasim Mingo and Ibrahim Tanko have been speaking to Nana Dakwa post-game. Let's find out what they had to say.
Hi, Coach. Not a kind of results you're expecting. Tell me, how did you see the performance of your team?
The performance was good, but the intimidation was too much. I don't want to say anything because now if you say anything, you get punished. So, congratulations, nation. They beat us and have the 3 points.
You think they were the better side?
No.
What didn't work well for you?
No, like I said, we play our normal game. We have more possession, especially in the first half, for the first 25 minutes. But like I said, we lose. We are going to concentrate in the next game. That's it.
You've conceded 33 goals and you've scored 32. You could have scored more, but you create a lot, but you don't score more goals.
Yeah, we have to keep on working. That's football. You have to work every week for goal scoring, and that's what we are going to do.
It got to a point, I saw you playing with 5 attackers, 2 in the middle and 3 at the back. You think it was something you could have done earlier, or you took your time and did it at the right time?
No, I think we did it at the right time because we still have 10 minutes to play. We don't want to risk. We did our changes and we don't have any, so I think it's good changes for us. Like I said, it's very, very sad what is going on, but let's go. Let's keep it.
You're going back home to play against Bechem United. You obviously want to win to keep your dreams of finishing in the top 4 alive, I guess.
Yes, in every game we go to win, and like here as well. But like I said, and like you said, the Bechem are coming, so we just go and concentrate against them.
Better luck next time. You told me you wanted the points more than your opponents, and you proved to me why you said so.
Oh yes, you saw it. I told you they are very good side. They keep the ball, we also keep the ball. So it's going to be an interesting game. But we need the points more than they did it. And fortunately for us, we've got the points.
Was it a game you have a feeling that it could have been more than 2 goals?
But you saw it. You saw what happened in the ball. 3 occasions. I don't know. I don't want to complain about officiating, so I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that either, but I'm talking about the chances created by your boys.
We created a lot of chances. You could have scored more than 1, but that's what God had given us. So we thank God for it.
What does this win do to the confidence of this team, especially after you had gone 5 games without a win?
It has brought the confidence back. The motivation has come back to the team. So I think the boys are motivated to fight for the rest of the matches to gain the points.
I'll ask you this question again. Is your title aspiration still on course, Coach Mingo?
I told you before the commencement of the game that we have 15 points left. And the team leading have 7 points difference. So it's not over until it's over.
You are the best home performing team in the Premier League, but on the flip side, you've caused major upsets away. You beat this Accra Lions team in Accra, and you remain the only team that has beaten Samatex at their backyard. You go to Doma to play against the Adriana next weekend. What should we expect?
It's going to be an interesting game. Very, very interesting. I don't want to talk about it. We take match after match, so when we get to that one, we will talk about it.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
When I was saying that, you know you go. Bema, congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's why your member Sam Nankasa. Share me a game we won saying.
Oh, game need the camera. You better support it. Now say on support your camera. But then you remember why the ama mem so share about 5 games. na nneɛma nkɔ yɛ ma nti yɛba game we mu ne deɛ ne determine sɛ yɛbɛfa win na me supporters so ne Argentina game ni nso deɛ anɔden ba ya try best
say na mo hyɛ no mebuza say mu players no deɛ na win we ɛyɛ ama mo.
Oh, win we the boy bebre MC egu so one say matches bebre we ni maka 4 ni etimi bo still ye compete nti me sure aboy see a win match.
Who did can ball no keeper ni che no. Who the right in the ball first one. How did you change your mind to go with the left foot?
The entire say Sam Adrian dey me 9 left e boy ni say ya chair dey bi wo training grounds coach say o ball no na keeper ni yiba o call down e was the next one o call top kakra say be ya obi antimi emfa ne ho enka. Okay,
next stop Doma Inkro e also mbako enkonya ho.
Me pa cho nkonya de egusu ya start here me jiri se be say e call Samatex me kan o be say Samatex dey betimi akofa win ba na obi anjini if say no mu lose match we aye ko e de ye hye mo boss e betimi akoye bibi foforo ho abeka kire.
Am asemu am bisa mo coach mi nsa musa wo so e mbaji league.
For sure, yeah, Beji League.
All right, yeah, that's it.
That's
I said for sure, yeah, Beji League. That's in another quite, putting him on the spot. And he's put himself and nations on the spot, but there's nothing wrong with that. Beji League, Beji League. Now there's pressure. Omanji League, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
But I like that focus, that mindset.
Yeah, it's a belief for me, and it's good they have that in mind. I was just questioning if they had that in mind in the last 5 games. Maybe they should have had that, and you can see how some jubilant moods over there for the fans. And I think they've got some.
You know what this dance is called? Sampa. That's our friend Sampa. You know Sampa, right?
Yeah.
That's his nickname. Sabali.
I think it's the right mentality for them. And now, just like we all agreed upon, I think their destiny now lies in the hands of Tano Bofakwa to do them a favor.
Yeah.
In their game against Samatex. Anything can happen in that game, especially looking at the fact that Tano Bofakwa are not all that safe and they still want to maintain their Premier League status. It's going to be a crank game, and I believe Nations FC would have their eyes on that game. They would want to know what really transpires in that game. But then they've put in up a good fight today, and it's also a perfect way to hold that unbeaten winless streak, if I should put it. Because if you are challenging for the title, you should be picking up points, especially when you even play at home. I believe if they had picked up home wins against maybe any Gusas and Tano Bofakwa, it would have been a different narrative. But then let's just give them some props for winning this game this afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, hearing from the two coaches and Mingle as well, listening to him, his mind is pretty much, it's not over yet. They've not thrown in it out, which is good for the Ghana Premier League. The neutrals and football followers would hope the title race goes right to the end. That means that nations would have to win a couple more matches so that we have a really hot, finale to the season. Rostam Sonobe, out of 10, would you give him? I always ask these questions.
A 9.
That good?
No, he's been spot on today.
Really?
Flawless. He's been spot on with every decision. Yeah, I can't recall any
coaches were making a bit of they were being guarded.
Yeah.
They were not happy about something, and they are the coaches. That's why I'm surprised.
No one spoke directly about officiating. There was Kasim Mengo. I don't know what he was fuming about because I just can't recall.
Even Tanku was.
And that's why we've been here for 90 minutes and we've witnessed this game, and there wasn't even one controversial call. I think
I would say maybe an 8 because there were a few offside calls that could have gone either way.
Okay. Maybe I'm not allowed to give, but I'm surprised it's so high. That he's a good referee, but I think today, generally they had a good game.
No, you see, I think he officiated.
Didn't make mistakes.
He officiated to complement the tempo of the game. The tempo wasn't really that high, so it's very rare to see a referee of such of that status make some errors, and I just can't recall any error he made today. Maybe one or two. And coaches sometimes when it doesn't really go their way, they just try to pin it on someone. But I think for Rustum Senobe, he was decent today, and I'll still stand by that 9 out of 10.
I mean, it was no surprise that Kasim Mengo was calling for some 2 penalty incidents. It's understandable, but if you analyze the incident carefully, I mean, you wouldn't really. It's one of those it's one of those.
If you're not sure, don't give it.
Don't give it. And it's one of those fouls where if it happens outside the box, it's a foul. If it happens inside the box, the referee let it
Okay,
go.
so this is what we're going to do before we leave. Let's just quickly go through and I'll ask you guys for your predictions. Win, draw. Yeah, win or draw. Home win, away, whatever it is. So, obviously, tomorrow, Brecum Chelsea, Kotoko big game. Utala will be here to do that. Let me start with you.
I think that should be a home win for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, despite their recent
away.
Sorry, a home win for Brecum Chelsea. Sorry,
right.
Despite Kotoko's renaissance, I think this would be a bridge too far for them at the minute because they struggle when they go to Brecum. The last time they went there, they lost by 3-0. I don't think.
I just want them to share the spoils in that one. Both.
Why would you want them to share the spoils?
It will be fair for Great Olympics. They've really been struggling.
You're thinking about the Olympics.
Legon Cities are just a different team, and I just don't see how Great Olympics will win that one. The best for them should be a draw in that one. Yeah. And
then on Sunday, became host Kerala United.
I would say a draw as well. A draw because Kerala will not want to lose that because they are in a very precarious position. But I don't see how they go all the way to Beijing to go and pick up all maximum points. So a draw will be a fair result for me.
Dreams, Heart of Lions.
Dreams have to win that one. They have to win that one at all costs. Their last game at the Theatre of Dreams was a 2-1 win over Bichim in that match week 19 outstanding game. So they have to continue with that momentum and just shoot up maybe mid-table.
After winning 3-0, Phobians high spirit, but they face Adriana, who are tricky when they come to Accra.
I think there should be a House of Folk win. They have to go all out to win the game because they are not in a very healthy position. Even though the last time Adriana came to Accra, they left with all 3 points. I don't think House will want a repeat of that.
Yeah, Coach Watara says that he's not even thinking about Kotoko. He's thinking about his next game, Adriana. And then Midiama hosts Royal Assembly United.
Yeah, Midiama, they do not need these points.
What does that mean? They do not need it. Of course, they need it.
RTU needs it more.
Well, come on.
I'm
defending champions.
RTU needs it more because Adriana here. Mathematically, they can win the league, but realistically,
you may need it more. But can you get it?
So that's why they have to. That's why they have to. I'm going for RTU win in that
away win.
Yeah.
Okay, in Swatraman take on Gold Stars. Nana Edu's boys have been relatively consistent the last few games.
Yeah, tough game, but I expect in Swatraman to see this game out.
And then Samatex, defending champions, they know what they have to do now.
That's the game.
Tano Bofakwa, after beating Dreams, they're in the final of the FA Cup. They want to stay in the Ghana Premier League, but they travel to Samra Boy, tough venue.
It's a long journey and back-to-back weekends where you move from Tano Bofakwa to Volta, then all the way to the west. It's quite tough for them, but that's the game that could set the Premier League on fire again. That's the game I want, and I just want the points to be shared in that one, so we can have some drama to the end of the season.
Awesome. It'll be a great game, no doubt about that. Anyway, just also to say big good luck to the boxer who's in action this weekend. Joshua Wahab, he's fighting against Mark Chamberlain at the King's Arena in Saudi Arabia. Big fight, biggest of his career. And of course, the big one will be Alexander Usyk against Tyson Fury. But Wahab will be the 5th undercard bout before that one, and we wish him the very best as well. We'll bring you all the updates from that, and we continue obviously with the under-17 WAFUB tournament ongoing in Accra. We'll keep you posted with all the very latest. Let's take a look at the standings before we leave you. So that's what it means now. The gap has been closed, but Samatex have a game which, if they win, are back to factory settings. The top 4 is quite interesting. Unfamiliar. Only Adriana Stars have been in that position before. Look at Midiama, defending champions. They could also close the gap there, but they are on 43. Let's take a look at the bottom 10 to 18 position. And that's the situation. 28 points. RTU must win to have any hope, because if Heart of Lions and Tano Bofakwa get draws or wins, they'll be opening up the gap in the case of a RTU defeat. Olympics are in big trouble. They must start winning. Dreams FC have games on hand, but they don't want to be complacent, because above them, Legon Cities and Kerala United are also pushing. And indeed, Kotoko and Hearts, who meet each other next week. This is the big weekend for the two to, gain momentum for that. Okay, that's it. Big thanks to Josiah Okokwe and also to Alfred Hansen, guys. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye for now.